Black boy fixes billionaire's limo. Next day this happens. He never expected it. The city of Detroit thrummed with a life of its own. A symphony of car horns, distant sirens, and the chatter of pedestrians formed the backdrop to Marcus's world. He lived in a modest two-story house with peeling paint, nestled amongst identical brick buildings on a street that had seen better days. At 13, Marcus was already known on his block not for troublemaking, but for his uncanny knack with machines. His fascination had begun in his father's garage, a cramped space overflowing with the scent of motor oil and the ghosts of repaired engines. David, Marcus's dad, was a mechanic by trade, his hands perpetually calloused, his fingernails rimmed with grease. He'd spend hours under the hood of some sputtering car, patiently explaining to a younger Marcus the intricate dance of pistons, spark plugs, and fuel lines. "See this here, son?" David would say, pointing with a grease-stained finger. "This ain't just a hunk of metal. It's a heart, beating with fire and power. You gotta listen to it, understand its rhythm." Marcus listened, not just with his ears, but with his hands, tracing the contours of the engine, feeling the vibrations hum through his fingertips. He learned to identify the subtle coughs and sputters that signaled a problem, the way a doctor might diagnose a patient by their heartbeat. School held little interest for Marcus. While other kids memorized dates and formulas, his mind dissected diagrams of combustion engines, his fingers itching to take apart and rebuild anything he could get his hands on. This often landed him in trouble. He'd get caught tinkering with the school bus engine or dismantling the lawnmower in the principal's office, his curiosity outweighing any sense of rule-following. "Marcus," Mrs. Johnson, his exasperated science teacher, would sigh, "you have a brilliant mind, but you need to apply it in the right places." But for Marcus, there was no right place other than surrounded by the guts of a machine, figuring out its secrets, coaxing it back to life. This passion set him apart from the other kids, some of whom saw him as odd, a grease monkey who preferred the company of engines to people. Yet Marcus wasn't lonely. He had his older sister, Jasmine, a fierce protector who shielded him from bullies and encouraged his passion. And he had his father, whose pride in Marcus's abilities shone brighter than any award or accolade. "You got the gift, son," David would say, clapping him on the shoulder. "A gift that can take you places, build you a future." Marcus, with his head full of gears and dreams, believed him. He believed that his hands, calloused like his father's, held the key to a future brighter than the rusting cars that filled their neighborhood. The summer heat hung heavy over Detroit, the air thick with humidity and the smell of exhaust fumes. Marcus, seeking refuge from the sweltering indoors, sat on his front stoop, tinkering with the rusty chain of his old bicycle. The bike, a hand-me-down from a neighbor, was more duct tape and hope than functioning machine, but to Marcus it was a project, a challenge to his skills. Suddenly, a sleek black limousine, longer than any car Marcus had ever seen, glided to a stop in front of their house. Its tinted windows and gleaming chrome seemed out of place in their modest neighborhood, like a spaceship landing on a dirt road. A man emerged from the car, his suit impeccably tailored, his shoes polished to a mirror shine. He looked like he belonged in a boardroom, not on their cracked sidewalk. He approached Marcus with a hesitant air, as if unsure how to address a boy in grease-stained overalls. "Excuse me, young man," the man began, his voice surprisingly gentle. "I seem to have encountered a bit of car trouble. My vehicle appears to be refusing to cooperate." He gestured towards the limousine with a wry smile. Marcus, intrigued by the challenge and the sheer size of the car, set aside his bike. "What seems to be the problem?" he asked, already itching to get his hands dirty. The man, relieved to find someone willing to help, explained that the engine had sputtered and died a few blocks back. He tried restarting it, but to no avail. "I'm afraid I'm not much of a mechanic myself," the man confessed, a hint of embarrassment in his tone. "But I have an important meeting to get to, and—" He trailed off, his desperation evident. Marcus, with the confidence of a seasoned professional, assured the man he'd take a look. He grabbed his toolbox, a battered metal case that held his most prized possessions, a collection of wrenches, screwdrivers, and pliers, each with its own story, its own battle scar. The man watched with a mixture of amusement and skepticism as Marcus, small for his age but with a determined glint in his eye, popped the hood of the limousine. The engine, a behemoth of chrome and wires, seemed to dwarf the young mechanic. Undeterred, Marcus dove in, his hands moving with practiced ease. He traced wires, checked hoses, and listened intently to the faint clicks and whirs emanating from the engine. The man, meanwhile, paced nervously, occasionally peering over Marcus's shoulder, his anxiety growing with each passing minute. After what felt like an eternity, Marcus straightened up, a triumphant grin spreading across his face. "Found it," he announced, holding up a small, blackened spark plug. "Faulty connection. Should be an easy fix." With deft movements, he replaced the spark plug, his fingers navigating the maze of wires and hoses with the precision of a surgeon. He then reconnected the battery, his heart pounding with anticipation. He turned the key, and the engine roared back to life, its powerful purr filling the air. The man let out a sigh of relief, his face breaking into a wide smile. "You're a miracle worker, young man," he exclaimed, shaking Marcus's hand vigorously. "I can't thank you enough. You've saved the day." Marcus, beaming with pride, simply shrugged. "It was nothing," he said, though secretly, he felt like he'd just conquered the world. As the limousine pulled away, the man leaned out the window and called out, "I won't forget this, young man. You have a bright future ahead of you." Marcus watched the car disappear down the street, his heart filled with a sense of accomplishment he'd never felt before. He'd not only fixed a car, he'd helped someone in need, and maybe, just maybe, he'd glimpsed a future beyond the confines of his neighborhood. The following morning, Marcus was awakened by a commotion outside his house. He stumbled to the window, rubbing the sleep from his eyes, and was greeted by an astonishing sight. A delivery truck, emblazoned with the logo of a prestigious tool company, was parked in front of his house, and two men in uniform were unloading a large, ornately wrapped box. Intrigued, Marcus rushed downstairs, his curiosity piqued. He watched as the men carefully carried the box into the house, their faces etched with a mixture of respect and awe. "This is for you, Mr. Marcus Thompson," one of the men said, handing him a clipboard to sign. Marcus, confused, signed for the package, his mind racing with questions. He had never ordered anything from a tool company, let alone a package this extravagant. He tore open the box and his jaw dropped. Inside, nestled in layers of protective foam, was a complete set of professional-grade mechanics tools. Gleaming wrenches, ratchets, sockets, and screwdrivers, all meticulously arranged in a custom-fitted case. It was a mechanic's dream, a treasure trove of tools that would make any professional envious. Beneath the tools, he found a handwritten note, penned on elegant stationery. "Dear Marcus," the note began, "I wanted to express my sincere gratitude for your assistance yesterday. Your quick thinking and remarkable skills saved me from a considerable predicament. I was deeply impressed by your talent and your willingness to help a stranger in need. Please accept this small token of my appreciation. I believe you have a bright future ahead of you, and I hope these tools will help you on your journey. Sincerely, Mr. Alexander Blackwood." Marcus's heart pounded with excitement. He recognized the name. Alexander Blackwood, the billionaire industrialist, the man whose face graced the covers of business magazines, the man whose limousine he had fixed. This wasn't just a gift. It was a validation of his skills, a recognition of his potential. It was a message from a man who had seen something special in him, a spark of talent that deserved to be nurtured. Marcus ran to his father, his eyes shining with excitement. He showed him the tools, the note, his voice trembling with emotion. David, his face etched with pride, embraced his son. "You see, Marcus?" he said, his voice thick with emotion. "I told you you have a gift, and now the world is starting to see it too." That day, Marcus felt a shift within him. He was no longer just a boy who liked to tinker with engines. He was a young man with a purpose, a future filled with possibilities. He was ready to embrace his talent, to hone his skills, and to make his mark on the world. The gift from Mr. Blackwood ignited a fire in Marcus. He enrolled in a vocational training program, dedicating himself to the study of automotive mechanics. He devoured textbooks, spent countless hours in the workshop, and eagerly absorbed the knowledge and expertise of his instructors. The program was demanding, requiring long hours and intense focus. Marcus faced challenges, moments of doubt and frustration. There were times when he felt overwhelmed, tempted to give up and return to the familiar comfort of his father's garage. But each time he faltered, he would remember Mr. Blackwood's words, "You have a bright future ahead of you." He would picture the gleaming tools in his toolbox, a symbol of the faith that a powerful and successful man had placed in him. He persevered, driven by his unwavering determination and the unwavering support of his family and community. His father, a constant source of encouragement, would often visit him at the training center, offering guidance and sharing his own experiences as a mechanic. "Never stop learning, Marcus," he would say. "The world of mechanics is always evolving. You have to stay curious, keep exploring, keep pushing yourself." Marcus took his father's words to heart. He embraced every opportunity to learn, to expand his knowledge, to master his craft. He excelled in his classes, impressing his instructors with his natural talent and his dedication to his studies. He also sought out opportunities to apply his skills in real-world settings. He volunteered at local garages, assisting experienced mechanics with repairs and maintenance. He even started offering his services to neighbors and friends, fixing their cars and bikes in his spare time. His reputation as a skilled and reliable mechanic grew, spreading throughout his community. People began to seek him out, entrusting him with their vehicles, their livelihoods. Marcus, once a shy and unassuming boy, blossomed into a confident and capable young man. He discovered a sense of purpose in his work, a satisfaction in using his skills to help others. He also discovered a passion for teaching, sharing his knowledge with younger aspiring mechanics. He would often invite neighborhood kids to his garage, showing them the basics of car maintenance, explaining the inner workings of engines, and igniting in them the same spark of curiosity that had driven him. "This ain't just about fixing cars," he would tell them. "It's about problem solving, about using your mind and your hands to create something, to make a difference." Marcus's dedication to his craft and his commitment to his community did not go unnoticed. He received accolades from his instructors, praise from his customers, and admiration from his peers. He also caught the attention of Mr. Blackwood, who continued to follow his progress with interest. He would occasionally send Marcus encouraging notes, offering words of wisdom and support. "I'm proud of the young man you're becoming, Marcus," he wrote in one letter. "Never lose sight of your passion, your dedication to excellence. The world needs more people like you." Marcus, humbled by Mr. Blackwood's continued support, felt a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that his journey was just beginning, but he was confident that with hard work, dedication, and the support of those around him, he could achieve his dreams and make a lasting impact on the world. While Marcus was immersed in his studies and his burgeoning career as a mechanic, his father, David, was facing his own challenges. The years of hard work as a mechanic had taken a toll on his body. His back ached, his hands trembled, and his eyesight was failing. He continued to work in his garage, but his pace slowed, and his energy waned. He found it increasingly difficult to keep up with the demands of his job, the intricate repairs, and the long hours. Marcus, noticing his father's struggles, offered to help. He would spend his evenings and weekends in the garage, assisting his father with repairs, taking on the more physically demanding tasks, and offering his youthful energy and enthusiasm. David, initially reluctant to accept his son's help, eventually relented, recognizing that Marcus's skills had surpassed his own. He watched with pride as Marcus effortlessly diagnosed problems, repaired engines, and interacted with customers, his confidence and expertise evident. "You're a natural, Marcus," he would say, his voice filled with admiration. "You have a gift, and you're using it to make a real difference." Marcus, humbled by his father's praise, felt a deep sense of responsibility to carry on his legacy. He knew that his father's garage was more than just a workplace. It was a symbol of their family's history, their connection to the community, their dedication to their craft. He vowed to preserve that legacy, to ensure that the garage remained a place where people could come for reliable and honest service, a place where young aspiring mechanics could learn and grow. He began to envision a future where he would take over the garage, expanding it, modernizing it, and transforming it into a hub for automotive innovation and community engagement. He shared his vision with his father, who listened with a mixture of pride and nostalgia. "That's a dream worth pursuing, Marcus," he said, his eyes twinkling. "But don't forget the most important thing, the people. Always remember that this business is about more than just fixing cars. It's about serving the community, helping people, making a difference in their lives." Marcus nodded, his heart filled with determination. He knew that his father's words were true. He would honor his legacy, not just by preserving the garage, but also by upholding the values of honesty, integrity, and community service that had always been at its core. As Marcus's career progressed, he found himself drawn into a world far beyond the confines of his neighborhood garage. Through his connection with Mr. Blackwood, he was introduced to a network of influential people, business leaders, and philanthropists. He attended industry events, met with executives from major automotive companies, and even visited Mr. Blackwood's impressive estate, a sprawling mansion nestled amidst rolling hills and manicured gardens. Despite the stark contrast between his humble upbringing and the world of wealth and privilege he was now exposed to, Marcus remained grounded. He never forgot his roots, his community, the people who had supported him along the way. He continued to work in his father's garage, serving his loyal customers, mentoring young aspiring mechanics, and giving back to the community that had nurtured him. He also maintained a close relationship with Mr. Blackwood, who became a mentor and confidant. They would often meet for lunch or dinner, discussing business, philanthropy, and life in general. Mr. Blackwood, impressed by Marcus's intelligence, work ethic, and unwavering commitment to his community, took a genuine interest in his development. He offered guidance, shared his experiences, and opened doors for Marcus that he never thought possible. "You have a rare combination of talent, ambition, and compassion, Marcus," Mr. Blackwood once told him. "Don't let anyone dim your light. The world needs more people like you." Marcus, humbled by Mr. Blackwood's mentorship, cherished their bond. He saw in Mr. Blackwood not just a powerful businessman but also a kind and compassionate human being, a man who used his wealth and influence to make a positive impact on the world. He also formed strong relationships with other mechanics, both young and experienced. He joined professional organizations, attended conferences, and participated in workshops, eager to learn from others and share his own knowledge. He found a sense of camaraderie among his fellow mechanics, a shared passion for their craft and a dedication to excellence. They would often spend hours discussing technical challenges, sharing tips and tricks, and debating the merits of different tools and techniques. Marcus, with his natural leadership qualities and his ability to connect with people from all walks of life, quickly became a respected figure in the mechanic community. He was known for his expertise, his willingness to help others, and his unwavering commitment to ethical practices. He also developed a close friendship with a young woman named Sarah, a fellow mechanic he met at a conference. Sarah, with her fiery spirit and her passion for restoring classic cars, challenged Marcus intellectually and inspired him creatively. They would often spend hours together, working on projects, brainstorming ideas, and pushing each other to excel. Their friendship blossomed into a deep and meaningful connection, a bond built on mutual respect, shared passions, and a common vision for the future of their craft. Years passed, and Marcus's career continued to flourish. He expanded his father's garage, transforming it into a state-of-the-art automotive repair and customization center. He hired skilled mechanics, invested in advanced equipment, and built a reputation for providing top-notch service and innovative solutions. His clientele grew, attracting car enthusiasts, collectors, and even celebrities. His work was featured in magazines, showcased at car shows, and praised by industry experts. One day, Marcus received an urgent call from Mr. Blackwood. His voice was laced with urgency, a rare departure from his usual calm demeanor. "Marcus, I need your help," he said. "My private jet has malfunctioned. I'm stranded at a remote airfield, and the local mechanics are baffled. Can you come?" Marcus, without hesitation, assured Mr. Blackwood that he would be there as soon as possible. He gathered his tools, packed a bag, and headed to the airport, his mind already analyzing the possible causes of the jet's malfunction. He boarded a small chartered plane, his heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. This was his first time working on a private jet, a far cry from the cars and trucks he was accustomed to. Upon arriving at the airfield, he was greeted by a frantic Mr. Blackwood and a team of frustrated mechanics. The jet, a sleek and powerful machine, sat silently on the tarmac, its engines refusing to cooperate. Marcus, with his characteristic calm and focus, assessed the situation. He listened intently to the mechanics' descriptions of the problem, examined the jet's logs, and conducted a thorough inspection of the engines. He quickly identified the issue. A faulty sensor in the fuel system was sending erroneous readings, causing the engines to shut down prematurely. With his usual efficiency, Marcus set to work. He replaced the faulty sensor, recalibrated the fuel system, and ran a series of diagnostic tests. The mechanics, initially skeptical of the young man's abilities, watched with growing admiration as Marcus worked his magic. His movements were precise, his knowledge extensive, his confidence unwavering. After several hours of intense work, Marcus announced that the jet was ready for takeoff. Mr. Blackwood, his relief palpable, thanked Marcus profusely, his gratitude evident in his eyes. As the jet soared into the sky, Marcus felt a surge of accomplishment. He had not only solved a complex technical challenge, but had also earned the respect and trust of a man he admired. Back in Detroit, Marcus's reputation continued to grow. He was no longer just a talented mechanic. He was a problem solver, an innovator, a leader in his field. His garage became a hub for automotive enthusiasts, a place where people gathered to discuss their passion for cars, share ideas, and admire Marcus's latest creations. He also continued his philanthropic work, expanding his foundation to provide scholarships, mentorship programs, and apprenticeships for young people interested in pursuing careers in mechanics. He partnered with local schools and community organizations, offering workshops, training programs, and hands-on experience to underprivileged youth. He believed that everyone deserved the opportunity to learn a trade, to develop their skills, and to build a better future for themselves. One day, Marcus received a visit from an unexpected guest, Jason, the former bully who had tormented him during his school years. Jason, now a young man, looked haggard and defeated. He had fallen into a life of petty crime and substance abuse, his dreams and aspirations long forgotten. He had heard about Marcus's success, his reputation as a respected businessman and philanthropist. He had come to ask for help, a second chance to turn his life around. Marcus, despite the years of torment he had endured at Jason's hands, felt a pang of sympathy. He saw in Jason a reflection of his own past, a young man with potential who had lost his way. He decided to offer Jason a lifeline. He offered him a job at his garage, a chance to learn a trade, to develop his skills, and to rebuild his life. Jason, surprised by Marcus's generosity, accepted the offer with gratitude. He vowed to work hard, to prove himself worthy of Marcus's trust. Marcus, true to his word, mentored Jason, guiding him through the intricacies of mechanics, sharing his knowledge and expertise, and offering encouragement and support. Jason, inspired by Marcus's example, embraced the opportunity. He dedicated himself to his work, his passion for mechanics reignited. He learned quickly, his natural talent blossoming under Marcus's guidance. He also began to address his personal demons, attending support groups, seeking counseling, and rebuilding his relationships with his family and friends. Marcus, witnessing Jason's transformation, felt a sense of satisfaction. He had not only helped a former adversary but had also demonstrated the power of forgiveness, redemption, and second chances. As Jason's skills as a mechanic grew, so did his confidence and self-esteem. He became a valuable member of Marcus's team, his expertise and dedication earning him the respect of his colleagues. He also became an advocate for Marcus's foundation, sharing his story of redemption and inspiring other young people to turn their lives around. One day, Jason approached Marcus with an idea. He proposed organizing a community outreach program, offering free car maintenance workshops to underprivileged families. We can teach them basic car care, help them save money on repairs, and empower them to take control of their vehicles, Jason explained. Marcus, impressed by Jason's initiative and his commitment to giving back to the community, enthusiastically agreed. Together, they developed a comprehensive program, partnering with local schools, community centers, and social service agencies to reach families in need. They organized workshops on topics such as changing tires, checking fluids, and performing basic maintenance tasks. They also offered free car inspections and provided assistance with minor repairs. The program was a resounding success. Families were grateful for the knowledge and support, and the community praised Marcus and Jason for their dedication to helping those in need. The program also had an unexpected impact on Jason. He discovered a passion for teaching, a talent for explaining complex concepts in a clear and engaging way. He found fulfillment in empowering others, sharing his knowledge and skills to help them improve their lives. He realized that his purpose was not just to fix cars, but to use his abilities to make a positive difference in the world. This realization marked a turning point for Jason. He decided to pursue a career in education, enrolling in a community college to earn a degree in automotive technology. He envisioned a future where he could teach and mentor young people, inspiring them to pursue their passions and achieve their dreams. Marcus, witnessing Jason's transformation, felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. He had not only helped a former adversary turn his life around, but had also ignited in him a passion for education and community service. Marcus, now a successful businessman, philanthropist, and community leader, reflected on his journey. He had come a long way from the shy boy who had spent his days tinkering in his father's garage. He had faced challenges, overcome obstacles, and achieved success beyond his wildest dreams. But more importantly, he had remained true to his values, his commitment to his community, and his passion for his craft. He had learned the importance of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. He had discovered the power of forgiveness, redemption, and second chances. He had also learned the value of mentorship, both as a mentor and a mentee. He had benefited from the guidance and support of Mr. Blackwood, and he had, in turn, mentored Jason, helping him find his purpose and turn his life around. He realized that mentorship was not just about sharing knowledge and skills. It was about empowering others, inspiring them to believe in themselves and achieve their full potential. He was grateful for the people who had supported him along the way: his father, his sister, Mr. Blackwood, Sarah, and the countless others who had believed in him and encouraged him to pursue his dreams. He knew that his success was not just his own. It was a testament to the power of community, the importance of collaboration, and the transformative potential of education. He was determined to continue using his platform to advocate for educational opportunities for underprivileged youth, to promote diversity and inclusion in the automotive industry, and to inspire others to use their talents to make a positive impact on the world. He envisioned a future where everyone, regardless of their background, had the opportunity to learn a trade, develop their skills, and achieve their dreams. He believed that education was the key to unlocking human potential, to creating a more just and equitable society, and to building a better future for all. Marcus's story is a testament to the power of passion, perseverance, and the human spirit. It is a story about overcoming adversity, pursuing one's dreams, and using one's talents to make a positive impact on the world. It is a story about the importance of mentorship, the transformative potential of education, and the power of second chances. Marcus's journey from a shy boy in a Detroit neighborhood to a successful businessman, philanthropist, and community leader is an inspiration to us all. It reminds us that even in the face of challenges, we can achieve our dreams if we remain dedicated to our passions, committed to our values, and willing to help others along the way. It also reminds us that education is a powerful tool for change, empowering individuals to break down barriers, overcome adversity, and build a better future for themselves and their communities. Marcus's story highlights the importance of giving back, of using one's success to uplift others and create a more just and equitable society. It is a story about the power of forgiveness, redemption, and the belief in the human potential for change. Marcus's legacy lives on through the countless lives he touched, the young people he inspired, and the communities he empowered. His story serves as a reminder that we all have the ability to make a difference in the world, to leave a lasting impact that extends far beyond ourselves. It is a story that celebrates the human spirit, the power of dreams, and the transformative potential of education and community.